Hello to all my Neverwinter viewers and welcome to my channel. Today we'll take a look at my new Msod build, so let's check it out. Okay, so talking about the gear, just saying guys that almost all the build is relying on Msod gear, so if you can't access Msod then it sucks to be you, I guess. No, I'm joking. I will give you some alternatives, but let's keep going. So we have on the head, we still have the older emblem headpiece, so the 10% combat advantage one. We have a new armor piece that drops from Msod, and that gives 7.5% crit strike and 7.5 crit severity, and it has a lot of item level, as you can see, like 4300, so you can still use the older emblem one, this one that gives accuracy and combat advantage, and you can balance things out if you don't have this yet. This one is really a game changer because it gives 8% accuracy and 4% combat advantage, so a lot of stats, and there are not so much alternatives. So maybe you can still use like this one from Mtic that gives 7.5 crit strike, but if you can run Msod, I know those are kind of hard to drop, but those are really good. I also have the other celestial pieces like this one for extra combat advantage, but it only gives 7%. This one gives 10%, so we will miss like 3% combat advantage, and it's a kind of a problem since we are missing some stats from there because I'm using the lion, but we will get there later. So we got the celestial arms, void touch weapon, because we don't need extra stats, but you can still use like Lolt. They are still good. They gives 5% crit strike and crit severity. I'm using void touch because I can balance things out without them, and it gives like 275 damage plus 6% extra damage. We have these boots also from Msod. They give 5% power, crit strike and crit severity, so 15% total, huge. They nerfed them, like they were 7% each stats, but forget about it. If you don't have those, you can still use the legendary one from the advanced Shekel of Divinity. They're still good, I mean 3% each stats, but there are not so many alternatives, so you should get them. We move on to the other gear, still using this set, not so much alternatives, so as always 7.5 accuracy and recharge speed, but the most important thing is that you have a lot of intelligence, so plus 9%, plus 9 intelligence, so a lot of extra damage. This one also from Msod, and this one too. This one gives 5% combat advantage, a little bit of power when there are many enemies, but most importantly it gives 8000 accuracy and 7000 crit severity, so a lot of ratings. And you can also use some other rings. For example, I was using the purple one that you can get from the heroic encounters in Tay. This one gives a shit ton of stats, so very good. And also, if you can access like Msod, or you can buy it on auction house, there is also this ring that it's very good, gives 7% crit severity and almost 9000 crit strike and 40, so it's pretty good. But almost all the offense ring are pretty good. Also this one for power, so you can choose the one that fits better your stats. I'm using also the Sanguine Seal because it's the one that gives 5% damage in Fey, so I think it's best in slot for Msod, and also a lot of ratings. This one is the ring that gives most crit severity of all the ring, but you can also use this one that gives some crit severity and a lot of crit strike if you miss those stats. Then we move on to the shirt. I'm using this one, like there are not other alternatives. This is flat 7% extra damage basically in Msod, so best in slot. And this one also a game changer. Basically these pants give 10% combat advantage, and they like proc instantly, so you can use those also in AoE. So really good actually. For enhancements, I'm currently using all garnets, and forget about those. We don't. I'm just putting there because I don't need them. So if you really want to min max, you can go for all garnet also on defense, but you know, still using Devil's Precision, Rage of Flames, Celestial Lightning, of course, Richer Speed, but you can also use Action Point if you have it. Pretty good, especially for Wizard, because we struggle a lot to get full AP. And Garnet in utility, I'm using these artifacts for the stats. So Arma Egon, this one mystical coin from previous Timora's event. But just for the ratings, you can use whatever you need to cap your stats. And I'm swapping artifacts based on what the game need, what the party needs. But if you can use the crystal, basically is the best. Also, Marco is very good, deals a lot of damage. And then we move on to the powers. So basically, this is what I'm using if I am the only wizard. If there are two, and maybe the other wizard is lower in damage, you can swap critical conflagration for Orb of Imposition, and maybe swap for Chilling Presence. I'm still trying to see if Chilling Presence actually does more damage than swap, because not only for the debuff, for the 3% debuff buff, but because probably Smolder Steel at the end of the run deals more damage than Chilling, but I'm still trying to see if it actually deal more damage. So you guys can do your tests and let me know in the comment if you have some suggestion for this build to get it better. You know, I did many tests, and this is the build that actually gives me more damage. So the highest I did was 2.6 million encounter damage, so pretty good. We are not best in slot, unfortunately, as wizard in this trial, but you know, we do what we can do. For boons, I'm using these ones. Stronghold is power, defense, and revive sickness. Pretty basic. You can like pause the video and see what I'm using. I'm still missing some boons, but you know, the important one are bloodlust, life lessons, because it gives extra magnitude damage, and overall it's like 2% more damage at the end of the run. And I'm using Blessed Advantage, but the 6% power is not that reliable, and so I don't really count this for the power rating. I just prefer to cap it without, because based on my tests, sometimes I cannot proc it during article, so it's not really it's not very reliable. Moving on to companions, you can use whatever your team needs. Usually I use Atrian because it procs Lion very well. It's like 5% extra damage. I'm using the new companion gear, like these two are accuracy combat advantage and forte, and this one is combat advantage crit strike. You can use whatever you drop, because I was lucky with those three, and I don't suggest you to buy them from auction house. They are very expensive. You can still use like the previous gear, it's the same. Celestial Companion enchantment, pretty basic. I'm using Keen Eyes for 9.6%. I don't recommend you to buy these. If you need crit severity, just use this. Potent Precision, it's just 0.6% extra, so not worth it. Raptor, you must use this, very important. Misk, Batiri, Neverwinter Knight, all like damage percentage bonus. And this one, I was using the Wolf. Like if I want to cap all stats without relying on any purple like from the group, I will use like Wolf here for 9% crit severity, and I will swap this with accuracy. But with this setup and with someone using slowed reaction, so 9% accuracy for all team, like you can cap all stats and still get the most damage output because of this. Like it's much better than using the wolf in utility. And then moving on to mounts, I'm using Providence. This is like a must, guys. Much more damage with Providence than without. Like it's all more than 3% damage. You get this radiant damage bonus sometimes, so it's pretty huge on a 10-man raid. So very nice. Giant Toad, you can use Golden Touch if you have it. Like they are the same. On the stable, here is when things get like a little bit tricky, because I'm currently using 2 Tacticians, 1 Enchanter's X, 1 Cavalry Haste, but some people told me that Artificial Persuasion was better, so the one that reduces cooldown when you use an artifact. But since I need those stats, so I need those 1500 accuracy, combat advantage, crit strike, etc. I'm still using this, but because I don't think that using encounters before article is that much of a damage, even because they have a very long cooldown, so you don't have the time to use them before and then after the arty. So what I'm trying to focus during article is to do like double rotation with double icy rays during the article to get the most damage. But if you guys can test with Artificial Persuasion and tell me like how to get this build better, it's open like to change, you know. But currently this is what I'm using. I'm using 2 Tacticians because it's easier for me to use the second icy rays before the artist ends, you know. And Enchanter Sex still good, like 2% more damage. The colors are pretty basic: crit severity, counters power, movement speed, stamina, and Raphael Steel Diamond. Like I have these just for item level, you don't really need them, except for maybe those 2. And then like Insignias are a mix between brutalities, aggression, skill, and that's it. Like you can use wherever you have, and then you can balance things out with your artifacts and your enchantments, etc. So speaking about race, I'm using the GIF, so I have like a 5% extra combat advantage from the race. And yeah, you can also use the Wood Elf for 5% crit strike, but this is what I'm currently using. Okay, so potions are pretty basic. I'm using Wellstorm Elixir, Flask of Potency, Squash Soup, so we have 15% more crit severity and 5%, like 7% more crit strike. And I'm using Prime Rib from Guild Food, like to get extra 4000 power. With all these consumables, and by using the Spider Totem, you get like 2.5% combat advantage. And now I will calculate you the stats to see that we have all stats capped during combat. And yeah, enjoy some gameplay. Okay, so guys, before we move on to stat calculation, I wanted to show you like my rotation quickly. It's not really nothing really fancy. So like my goal is to get a double rotation inside the article, so like to throw 2 times icy rays inside the 10-second arty duration, you know. So I will quickly show you, like I will do it slowly before, and then I'll show you like in real time. So what I do is get like 5 arcane stacks, so we get the full damage. Then I usually use Repel, Icy Rays, Entangling, Ray of Frost. Then I use my mount, my daily, I throw my belt item, and then I use all the other encounter before the RT ends. Okay, now I will show you like how it looks like during an actual article. If you guys can't access Msod, as I was saying before, like you can just watch my previous build videos with like older items, so that you can work to get these like endgame items. You have like a lot of other options, so just check my older videos. Okay, so make sure you have combat advantage, and this is like the rotation. Okay, so starting with power, we start at 87.4, then we add 5% from the boots, 18% from Raptor, 4.5% from the two auras, Mystic and Runic, 3.5 from Portobello, 2 from Adrian, and we are at 120.4%. So as I was saying, I don't count the boon inside the power ratings. I try to cap it without it. So moving on to critical strike, we start at 558.1. We add 7.5% from the armor, 5% from the boots, 10.8 from the lightning enchantment, 4% from the Pali aura, 3% from blue fire, and 2% from Adrian, and we are at 90.4%. Crit severity would start at 100 plus 7.5 from the armor, 5% from the boots, and 9.6% from keen eyes, and we are over cap at 122.1. And then we have combat advantage at we start at 83.3. We add 10% from the head, 10% from the pants, 13.5% from Portobello, Tutor, and Flapjack. Then we add 3.3% from the ratings from double pack tactics, and we are at 120.1%. And in the end we have accuracy starting at 51.8. We add 8% from the arms, 7.5% from the neck and waist, 10.8 from the lightning enchantment, 2.5 from mystic aura, and then we add like 9% from slowed reaction, and we are at 89.6%, so almost capped. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you think I can change something or I can improve my build, just leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching.